You from Fonjama, Maryland to Gospel. Yeah, yeah, to just. Oh yes, I say tune to spoon. It doesn't matter where you are. You're in Grand Cape Mountain, you're in Grand Juliet, you're in Sino County, in Maryland, across the 15 counties of Liberia, which is always tuned to spoon. This is where you get the news, the analysis, the views of Liberians. This is where you get to hear Liberians speak out on different issues of national concern. I'd like to welcome all of you tonight to the program, the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We are here tonight live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1, on the many frequencies across the country that most times relay the program. My name is Nelson Colette. We're going to have an engaging show tonight. Thanks to all of you across the world for joining us. I want to, in a very special way, appreciate all of you, ardent followers of the Late Night Show. Yes, a lot of you have been very concerned, especially with the recent adjustment in the show time. And I want to say thanks to all of you who have been reaching out. As you know, there has been some adjustments to the Late Night Show schedule now. The show comes on Fridays and Saturdays. That's when we bring the Late Night Show to you. And I want to welcome all of you joining us tonight. Thanks for coming on. Whether you're joining us by means of YouTube or you're on Facebook, I want to appreciate all of you for coming on tonight on this edition of the program. And so we're here tonight. The rest of the team will come on. And yes, let me again welcome everyone. I see from the live feed, I see Moses Momolu has joined in. Thank you for coming on from Iowa. That's where you're joining us from. Adama Bwakai Sharif is here tonight. Uriah Boyu Siafai is here as well. Clone Destiny EK Seaton is joining us tonight. I see Jay Cooper here as well. Sonny Dukula is joining us tonight. Thank you for coming on. And I see a lot of you still joining us. Joseph Siakor, the Sakor is here as well. I see Hesford Joseph is joining us from New Jersey. Thank you for coming on. Angeline Yekesin is here as well. Thank you for coming on tonight. Kindly share the program as you join us. As most of you are aware, the Late Night Show has been off for a while. And yes, we're here tonight. The guys are usually on the flip side. We're going to talk more about that, especially for those of you who are ardent followers of the show. Most of you want to still listen to the crew, especially on the days when we're not here. They will tell us more about where they are in the rest of the days when we're not here. But again, I want to welcome all of you. I see Lockett James. Thank you for coming on. And all of you joining us tonight. Fatumata Sharif and the many of you. Hipko Kazi is here. That's our own guy, Hipko Kazi. Thank you for coming on. And I want to welcome everybody. Please share the program as you come on tonight. Tell somebody and tell another somebody to tell another somebody that the Late Night Show is on tonight. Well, let me bring our man. I just saw our co-host Moba Zokia here. Look, before I start the show, wait. I gotta get something. I can't. Look. I hope technology will do me justice tonight. You know, I won't be that somebody who's not too much technology friendly. The person is a co-host too and a female. I won't be like that person. And so I want to see if I can find the thing I want to find here just before bringing the crew on. Wow. So you're trying to tell me I can't find the thing I'm supposed to find? But I want to welcome everyone. Welcome to everybody Just keep sharing the program as you come on, folks. It's gonna be a very, very interesting conversation tonight. I want you to kindly share the program as you come on. Just keep sharing the show across your different social media handles. So we have a great conversation here tonight. Please share the program. But this one, I don't know, but I bumped into this. I bumped into this, and somebody was telling me something about it. I will play the rest of that video. But welcome to the show, guys. Let me welcome our co-host Moba Zoka. Moba, thank you for joining us tonight. I don't know why I'm not seeing you, Moba. Okay, sorry.
You see me?
Okay, now I can see you. I needed to make a quick adjustment here. But Moba, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you very much. And thank you for bringing me on. I'm much out here for a short time, but let me just make use out of it.
All right, yeah, that's a great one. It's really great to have you on tonight. To have you joining us, Josh. Welcome to the show as well. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you very much, Nelson. Thank you to our listeners. We here tonight is incredible. It's in the morning here anyway, so I don't know what I'm saying tonight, but yeah, it's a great a privilege to be here and look forward to discussing the issues. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. We look forward to discussing the issues tonight. Very important issues connected to the forward march of our country, the future of Liberia, and a lot more. So we're glad that we're here tonight and that we can keep the national conversation going on, that we can keep the national discourse active. And interestingly, coming up on the show on Fridays and Saturdays, it gets to be very, very engaging and sometimes challenging too, because just flipping through the pages of the happenings through the course of the week, and sometimes you're stuck as to where to start the conversation from. But it's a good thing that we're here tonight, and we can make the most of the time we have to be here. Start the conversation where we can start from, and just make the most of the time we have to be here. But we're about to do what's on your mind. So you speak out on the different issues of concerns, But interestingly, I came across this, and before doing what's on your mind, let's do this. Let's watch this video.
George PC computer.
Oh, guys, listen. This is very interesting.
Mobile laptop.
Mobile comes on the show all the time. Mobile says he has a laptop, and every time Mobile speaks about something you want to ask him to, no, I get everything in the laptop.
Yeah, I got everything in my laptop.
I get everything. Let the laptop before me, then he can take the laptop and show it that day. That's in the laptop. Everything in the laptop. So, I sent me the video today. I think it was Josh. Josh said this is Moba's laptop. When Moba be telling you when Josh be telling you on the when Moba telling you on the show, and he get a laptop, all the evidence in the laptop that the laptop has. So now y'all watch the main laptop. How can we trust this kind of laptop? Why should anybody trust information coming from such a laptop? The laptop sounds like a very old car. I don't know the name, but they say that old car.
It sounds like a car in
the Guinea garage.
During the inauguration, when the old car came for the garage.
Your opa, you was that's Moba's laptop for you. But Moba, I don't know if you brought your laptop here tonight.
No. I left it
The
home.
man laptop
Oh,
right
so the
there,
laptop
right
stay in
there.
the garage, or are they repairing?
Yeah, in a repair shop.
Okay, they still ongoing repairs because
No.
that laptop needs to be repaired. For
It
what we
needs
see,
repair.
how can we
You know
trust
what?
this?
When I hold that laptop, George ain't being worried because when I
No,
talk,
but Moba, why the laptop jacking? Why the laptop jacking it, even shaking you? Look, that laptop is a
I'm
disaster.
making up my head, team, but I don't think my head, team.
Joe Fireman said the
What
laptop
about your
is
new
a
laptop?
generator.
Next
taco
week,
generator.
after the water, taco generator like king, right? Everybody, you want it, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You know,
That's how much time.
but anyway, we'll manage to trust the laptop. You
Yeah,
know,
y'all
Yeah.
gotta touch it.
like the laptop they make me carry when you go and meet investors and things. So we'll
Yeah.
manage to
Y'all
trust
gotta
that.
touch that laptop. I
That's
tell
the
you.
impact on business in Liberia.
But guys, it's a great way to start the show, man. What's on your mind? Let's start the conversation.
Go.
Maybe you want to start, Josh. What's on your mind? Then we take more.
Yeah,
Definitely. And Nelson, yeah, it's what's on my mind. I saw the publication by Punch TV Live. That is Punch. That radio station belongs to this guy from the LTA, Patrick Honda. And here's what the policy say: government instructs GSM operators to block all SIM cards not updated with citizenship ID as of August 1, 2025. B1. Nelson, here's the thing. I got a MTN SIM card here that I bought, that I registered when I was in Liberia. I used my passport, my ECOWAS passport to register it. So if I will come back to the country in the very near future, I usually, when I get to Ghana, I take that SIM card and put it in because MTN works in Ghana. I take that SIM card and put it in my phone in Ghana, and I start to communicate with my people back home when they can come to pick me up from the airport and everything, because I recharge everything, so the line is still open, right? Now, President Bouaka is saying if you did not use the national ID card to update your if you don't have the national ID card, your phone will be off. You're not going to communicate anymore. So it's like a mandate, just like the executive order 147 that he made on the 14th of April, that is a mandatory thing that every citizen of Liberia must have the national ID card. And Nelson, that's my problem, because I think this is exploitative, because some people have the same identity that was given to them by the government, which is the passport. We got passport, we got driver's licenses, we got different identification that are honored by the government, that was given to us by the government. So if the president is going to come out and say, if you don't have the national ID card, you cannot open a bank account, your phone will stop working. Nelson, I think this is bad. This is a bad policy. President Bouaka did not tell us that Liberia was rich. President Bouaka told us, he did not tell us that Liberians were rich. He said Liberians were poor. People were destitute. That's why he was coming to rescue them. He did not say Liberians were rich, because if you come now, you want to take money from us in this kind of manner, I think it's unfair, and it's just another letdown, of us. So now, coming to Liberia now, I will not have a SIM card. I will get to Liberia because my SIM card will be blocked, because he said August 1 is going to be blocked.
George, given the time frame, we are still in June, and if the government is talking about August 1, you have the entire July, half of June, at least, to roll out, to go ahead with the process. And it's about doing it with your national, what's the name?
National identification card. Yeah.
Don't you think the government is rolling out a good policy here that should be appreciated by the citizens? Are you just looking at the monetary aspect, aside from just the fees or the little fees associated with it? Because come to think of it, the national ID card is $5, $5 USD. You get the national ID card. Don't you think this is part of the the whole process of the government trying to make sure that everyone is at least captured in a database, wherein in order to have access to major services, you can at least make sure that you meet the criteria.
I disagree, Nelson, and here's why. The government gives us the voting card free of charge. That voting card can be used to register. We used to use it to register SIM cards because it's a proper identification. It gives you the power to vote. It gives you the power to be a Liberian. You are a Liberian before you can own a voting card. So with having that voting card, you can do whatever you wanted to do to open your bank account, get a SIM card and everything. President Bouaka is saying no, you have to pay now for identification. What does that identification does for us? What does it do for us? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this, I think, is exploitative because if my grandmother in the village has a voting card and she has been using her voting card to get everything she wanted to get, open a bank account or open or register her SIM card and everything, and now President Bouaka said no. Now you have to pay money to get identification, which is the national ID, before you do that. That database, that voting database, she was in that voting database. They know her. They know that she lives in Liberia. They know that she votes. So it's an identification that she uses. So it's unfair, and I think President Bouaka needs to look another way to look for money to support his lavish lifestyle, because it's not going to work for people, Nelson. You cannot tell us that it forces, even in this country that is rich, Nelson. Nobody forces anyone here that you must have this, Nelson. If you don't want to have a driver lesson, you don't have it, but you're not driving.
But this is a policy here. The government
It is not a policy. It is not a policy. It's President Bouaka's own making. He did not even take it to the legislature to decide. He said you will make a executive order. So that means the executive.
I'm coming from a point wherein the president has the constitutional authority to issue executive order. It's not illegal. It falls within his powers as a president.
Yes,
These are things that he can do. So I mean, Josh, why is this one so evil and everything as you terminate?
Nelson, because it defeats all logic. That's why it's evil and it doesn't make any sense, Nelson. Because if you say we want everybody to be in a database, Nelson, babies will not be in a database because baby will not get a national identification card unless the one baby born today should be issued an identification card to be paid for. No. So everybody who is 18 and above have a voting card, and that voting card is that we are captured in that database, right, Nelson?
Thank you.
So you cannot say you want to get database. It doesn't make any sense. You come again, you got passports. The passport I use my passport to open bank account in Liberia. I use it to open GSM phone. Then he say no, we should cancel that. He want us to buy buy the national identification card for him so that we can get it before we can open our GSM phones, before our phone can work. Nelson, it doesn't make any sense. This is evil playing. And having the power to make executive order does not mean that you can make it against the people or exploit the people.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Moba, you want to do your opinion quickly? What's on your mind?
Yeah. Thank you, Nelson. What on my mind? I know we'll come to that topic. I will maybe get my own ideas on it. I don't want to attack my brother right now. But let me go to what on my mind. Look, what on my mind is that our country now is so divided when it comes to politics, to the extent that people go on Facebook, write former government official, write threatening remark, writing to attack, send people to attack individuals who were in government, and also attack people who children in government. I mean, people who get our children also that work in government should be attacked. That's how our entire society has turned to because of politics. And let me say this to our young folks out there. We all, and you guys have a future ahead of you. No matter what. Cities who are in power for 6 years, your level will not change. They use you. They do whatever they want to do to you. Now they want to put you on the street to go against your own people. To go on Facebook and write something. At the end of the day, you say, I retract my statement. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. But you're forgetting to know your face. It's all on Facebook. People watching you. You think when you post on it on Facebook, you think only Liberian watching you? No. People watch you around the world. Tomorrow you may need a certain job. Based on that post, you may lose it. But threatening somebody that you will kill them.
My man, you can't threaten anybody but that, man. Stop
My man, you dare opening here, I start here, you talk, I never talk
Okay.
about. Let me do my opening. There's my time. Please. It can happen. That's why they can talk about what we call background check. So forget it, Josh. That's why they say background check. Background check include social media posts. They don't just say, oh, background check, I go check behind, I go ask people. No. It includes social media posts. So some of you got a breath feature. Y'all got things that are ahead of you. You're probably tomorrow you'll see people will come in our country, open something and want to employ some of you, but when they see some of your threat on Facebook, threaten your own Liberian government official, then what you can do when you're angry to the job? Then you either lost that job, even traveling, it get infect on you. Don't say that you let politicians fool you, or people sit on ESA, America, whatsoever, send you to go on the street, send you to go attack people, send you to make all kind of reckless statement on your own people because you want to certify all former officials. Today, the people who allegedly, everybody saying, oh yeah, they bought the capital, but the evidence was there. Someone they in prison. The lawmaker who were in prison with them, they were bailed out, but they stay in prison. The lawmaker went and met them there and left them there. That's because they want to certify a certain group of people. We gotta be smart, young people. Our life.
Thank you, Maba.
My man, don't call me Oba. I'm still talking about you're talking and I talk. And I thought, wow, you start on here, you call Joseph Baga, what did you say? What's the way you want to say? Everything.
No, I didn't cause anybody. I beg you, my man.
Yeah, I said you say what you want to say. Like you attack JMB 24 state now. I'm talking my own. You want
I
to
attacking policy. I'm attacking policy. I'm attacking him.
No, listen, you come on left side.
I'm very intelligent to attack anyone.
No.
I will attack the policy.
Left side, when you go into the person, individual left side. You say for you to support his left side. Is that policy? Is the left side you attack the person?
That's a policy.
Left side is not a policy. Don't do that.
The policy is to improve your own lifestyle.
Then you attacking him personally. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My man,
Guys, we have to.
My man, George interfere in my talk. When you ready to do one, talk don't complete because how you start the show, how we end it.
So we start the show.
You're not allowed me to learn.
So, take 30 seconds to me.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. George, I want to distract me, but I lie again. Look, 30 seconds. Let me say this, and I will just advise you guys. Look, we are young people. We're living in a world that right now, social media is all around the world. There's nowhere people put a picture up and look at the other guy that went and sent out 30 with my own JMB soon. That beginning I can be doing that recording. And end of the day, King apologized on Facebook, but his words went. Baron, he make a statement. End of the day, he came back and apologized. First of all, he denied the statement. Later on, it was all on social media circulating, and he came back and apologized. All these things, people watch you. You got to be careful. Do not put yourself somewhere that tomorrow, those politicians that you're carrying yourself for, they will leave, and you will leave alone, and you start thinking, oh my God, what have I found myself? And that's right now, as we're speaking, those who impressing, that's why they're worrying on today. They're thinking if they will know, they will never coming, or participate in whatsoever thing that went on. But it late for them. That's why I'm giving you guys the message. You shouldn't kill yourself, not get care for people who will leave you end of the road, end of the day, that you will leave with nothing. Thank you, Nelson. As we go into the topic, I'll get my own one or two, so whatever topic you come with. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for your input, Mova. And I think we should move on. I want us to start with everything that took off this week. The Capitol building, the fire incident. We saw the entire investigation was concluded from the end of the Liberian National Police. The accused or the defendants were being forwarded to court, and once they got forwarded to court, we saw that the former speaker, Honorable J. Funati Kofa, Representative Abu Bana Kamara, Representative Priscilla Cooper, Jacob Ndibi, the lawmaker of District 3, Montserrat County, and Representative Dixon Wadley Sibo, The 5 lawmakers were charged with arson, and several other, and on several other grounds. They were being charged and forwarded to court. The preliminary took off. The preliminary hearing took over. Before then, we saw that they, spent about 2-3 nights behind bars at the Monrovia Central Prison. They were able to secure a bail on bond, and they were released. Preliminary hearing took off 3 days in a row. Next thing is that the court today ruled against the 4 lawmakers. From the Senate court, the case is now going to be forwarded to Criminal Court A, where the trial will continue. Now, given where we are now, this is not just any other case, and we had to go back on this because since this entire thing, we didn't get to touch on it. This is not an ordinary case. This is something that has to do with the burning of the Capitol building. Of the first branch of government got at fire. Now, immediately when the folks were released, this is what the former speaker said.
So, but did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it. He decided to bring this case based on a basket of evidence of innuendos, lies, and misstatements. And in the next few weeks, as we go through the preliminary hearing, we will deconstruct those lies and be able to put together a defense that is worthy of what we've done.
And this is what the former speaker said immediately when he got out of prison. They would deconstruct the lies in a matter of weeks, and their truth would be told. But even in the midst of everything he said, this is where we find ourselves. It's been about a week since he was released. And today we're talking about a guilty verdict from the Senate court. And someone may be asking the question as to whether the plans to deconstruct the lies actually became a reality. How did we get here in the first place? Why are we here? Why, why are we seeing the contrary of what the former speaker said? Now, I know this has been the preliminary trial. They're about to go into the actual trial. But what can you say about what we've seen before our eyes in just the 1 week window, the 1 week period, as we move on with this case? The guilty verdict today handed down by the court against the lawmakers. Now, the court is simply trying to say that as per the evidence or pieces of evidence provided so far, we are convinced that these lawmakers did what the state has accused them of. We are convinced that the lawmakers conspired. I mean, with a guilty verdict at this point, what does it say about this entire process? I want us to start the conversation from here. Let's start with you, Josh, and then we'll go around the table here.
All right, thank you, Nelson. Well, here is how things work when it comes to preliminary hearing. So preliminary hearing does not establish guilt or does not establish the presumption of innocence. It does not go against it. So what happens in preliminary hearing is that the first thing is that to establish that whether actually a crime took place. Yes. Who are the accused? What are the evidence, the pieces of evidence you've got, right? And these are evidence. Then the other people will say, look, the evidence don't make any sense, right? So we want you to throw it out because this piece of evidence that they are telling you about don't make
And
any
that's
sense.
what the lawmakers were calling for the
Yeah,
case
that's what
to be
they're calling
thrown out. But they didn't get it.
But then here's the thing: in that particular judge's powers, he cannot say. He could have said, "Yes, the evidence don't make any sense. You go home," right? And you could also say, "Look, this evidence for me, I cannot make the judgment because that's not what I'm here for. But the way I see the evidence, you take it to the criminal court so that they can decide there because you people brought your evidence, and because this is not judging the case, it's just looking at the evidence and see that whether this evidence can go ahead or not. That's the whole situation there. So this whole verdict of transferring the case to the criminal code A or criminal code does not in any way tell you that these people are guilty or they are not guilty. The burden of proof is going to be on the prosecution, which is the government, to establish that these people were actually the ones that lit the fire. The reason why it doesn't make any sense to me, Nelson, here's the reason why. If you charge somebody of murder, the person might be there to murder the person, right? But there's no evidence to link people directly to committing this arson, right? If you can come and say, okay, we charge you with facilitating, right, the burning of it, then of course for me it will make a little bit of sense.
But Josh, I want us to go into this thing a little bit. Now, you just made a fine. You just lay out a fine point here. Let me bring Cindy on. Cindy is joining us from his let me reserve all comments for now. But Cindy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
It's good to be here.
Not Creole. I won't ask for somebody, but anyway, let me leave.
I am on vacation with just me and my daughter. I'm celebrating my daughter this whole week. We are on vacation. No woman yet, but my 13-year-old child.
There you go. I didn't say a word, but Cindy is jumping ahead. But anyway,
you're like Gazipe.
We're gonna come to you, Cindy. Welcome to the show. Actually, George, you made a very fine point here.
Always.
And I love the fact that you lay out 3 routes that this whole thing would have taken. Number 1, the judge would have said, "There's no sufficient evidence, so I'm throwing this thing out." And as a matter of fact, that's what the defendants were calling for.
Yeah.
They were saying that everything that prosecution had presented didn't make sense. In fact, all of the interviews we conducted with them on the grounds of the court, they say it was just nonsense. It was the waste of that time. So they wanted the judge to throw the case out. It didn't turn out to be that way. But rather, there was a guilty verdict. And the judge on the other end was saying that, look, based on the hearing, based on everything that was presented in court, the judge said the form that the prosecution established a prima facie case, meaning that there was sufficient evidence, that there were enough evidence for the case to continue at the criminal court A. All right. So 3 points you lay out, which is obviously the case. Number 1, throw the case out. Number 2, yes, give attention to the evidence, accept the evidence that, look, these evidences are strong enough. And so these people, based on what I see, they can go to the upper court or to say, look, I don't have jurisdiction and blah, blah, blah. So, Josh, why did we have this particular case going this route at this point? It was not thrown out. The judge did not say, I don't have authority, or I don't have the whatsoever to continue with it. But he said there is sufficient evidence. And so I want you guys to forward this thing. Go to criminal court A and let the trial continue. Why do you think the defendant did not get their request granted before they say the court?
Nelson, that's the two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if I were the accused, right, I wouldn't ask for the case to be dismissed at the preliminary stage, because I want my innocence to be explicit. When Englishmen say explicit, that means to be very clear without doubt or anything, right? Because during the preliminary hearing, the whole case is not tried. Witnesses, they don't bring all the witnesses, right? And all the information they got, right? Usually they don't fight it out that way than what they would do during the case.
And Josh, why then do you think that the defendants were calling for the for the judge to dismiss the case during the preliminary trial?
Because every defense does that. Even in the case that is going on in the United States.
No, Josh. You just said that the defendants in any given case will not be calling for cases to be dropped because the pieces of evidence they have and all of that, they will want for that case to move forward, and so forth.
Yeah, Nelson, here's what I said. Maybe you misunderstood me. I say if I were the accused, right, I wouldn't want for the case to stop at the preliminary stage, because at that stage, it's like nobody actually seen the whole case, as in its totality, right? It's just part of it that is revealed, and usually people bring their strongest evidence, right, there to tell the people that, look, we actually get evidence, and the case will want to try it, right? So if I'm in the case of the defendant, I will say, look, I'm innocent, so you guys can do whatever you want to do. I will go to court, right? I want to go in court so that people can establish their their case and convict me or not, because I know that I did not do anything wrong and I will be set free. So whatever happened, that happened. But here's the thing, Nelson, this case is highly political, and I think the IG said it, and I think the former speaker said it as well. This case is highly political. So if you have a political case as such, usually judges don't want to be the one making the decisions. They tend to hand it over. That's what that judge did. He said, look, I'm not saying these people are guilty, but the evidence I have seen, I think there is a probable cause a crime was committed, according to them, and these are the people accused of the crime. So you go to court. That's all. That's his work. He cannot make any decision to say you are guilty or you're not guilty. No. He could have said you go home. The case, it doesn't make any sense. But he also could have, because it's
but if he says your go home, this case doesn't make sense, is he not saying that you're not guilty?
That's why he's saying in essence. That's what he's saying. But usually in preliminary stages of a case, especially the one against the government, against certain people, usually it get moved on to trial most of the time. The only time, Nelson, there are so many cases that happen in a country that nobody hear about that stop in the preliminary stage, because usually what happens when a crime is committed, the police get our evidence together and go to the judge and tell the judge, this is all going. And we think Nelson actually he was loving to George Geoffrey in Liberia because he called the rain falling. So this case, we got evidence.
Any right there, thank you. Let's move to Moba. Let's move to Moba. Moba, go ahead.
Thank you.
You fell on the facts.
Look, Josh laid it right, but he made some step, and I will correct him. First of all, he said so long somebody
you have the laptop tonight? You want to correct me from the laptop?
I didn't bring my bag. I left everything home today.
Oh, so you're not speaking from the laptop tonight?
No, but
Imagine this laptop you've been speaking to us from.
No. I'll speak.
But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
My brother just said something. I just want to correct him. You can be charged with murder. You got to go and physically kill somebody, but as long as you dare someone, they can tell you, say, facilitate, all those stuff can come along with it. But in fanatic covenant case, that's the sin, according to the charges, right? They facilitate the crime, like the mastermind the crime, the finance the crime, all the stuff. So it's all under facilitation. So based on that, there's a lot of charges it came with. But if you see the case going to the preliminary trial, look, it's just easy nursing. The reason they went over there to establish there was a crime committed, one, and everybody knew there was a crime. Two, what's the evidence? And I listened to the judge from the government, the government lawyer rather. He said something when they were asking him. He said, "We never put all our evidence out." That's what he said. We never put all our evidence out. When we go to the criminal court, people will see what we're talking about. There's a lot of text messages. The only thing they put out was the recording, but they said they got text messages that from both individual, from the accuser, the guardian who bring the place, all over. There's a text message to get, but they're waiting for the main court day. So in that case, you think the judge will just say, okay, you know what? Let's just throw the case away, like my brother George insinuating like that. Let throw the case away. No, the case is a procedure. After that stage, there's another stage. And when you look at the evidence, people, nursing our country are tuned to the politics in the country that even when you're looking at the right thing, people will twist it to say everything is politics. People go and facilitate to burn the Capitol building. And today, and I listened to Yeke recording. He said something. He said we were playing these things. They call me, I miss their call. They call me, I miss their call. He's saying things that already established. It's already been established by the government lawyers and the police RG that carry on the investigation. So, look, there's more in this case. And as it unfolds, we'll realize that the police did a great job. In Liberia, anytime we like the last time I put my one or two together, when it's in my favor, I'm happy. Whether it's wrong or it's right, I'm happy. But when it's against me, when it's in the negative, I agree that the law is not good. And when we bail Liberia like that, and when we try to make Liberia that way, we'll go nowhere. End of the day, we'll always be the same. Every country lives on rule and law. Without rule and law, your country can go nowhere. People just can't wake up because the fee. Yeah,
so Moba, from the very beginning, when the former speaker was released, this is what he said.
But did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisan's word for it, you take the IG's word for it. He decided to bring this case based on a basket of evidence of innuendos, lies, and misstatements. And in the next few weeks, as we go through the preliminary hearing, we will deconstruct those lies and be able.
He said, in the next few weeks, the lies would be deconstructed.
Yeah.
The few weeks they're counting on.
Yeah, Nelson, let me just say something, right? First of all, before a person commit a crime, it should be before they commit any crime, it should be in our interest. Now, when we're looking at the representative, what were the costs? What were the costs? What were the probable costs for the costs there? Then what happens? It was because of the Capitol building disputes between the majority and the minority. Why? Because they don't. Yeke said it. Yeke said he said they don't wanted for the majority black. I mean, the majority black to have session. While the minority black stay, while the entire house stay in disputes. So based on that, they were grouping people and they were making phone calls. So next thing, the probable cause for all the thing here, it comes from right in the house. So if the RG say it's political, he based his ideas and his thinking come from right in the house where they sit in that same chamber. It's political. Based on that, that's how they carry the plot. So that's that perspective. I believe that's the perspective the RG was speaking from. It's not like the way because it's political. So the government the president is interfering in this identical investigation to make sure. No, even the RG said it. He said all the investigation will carry on. The government, the whosoever, nobody come to us. Nobody asks a question. Nobody tells us do they want to do that one. We'll carry on our own independent investigation without the president, the vice president interfering in any of these investigations. So people not come there and say when the man say politics is political, we shouldn't say that. We shouldn't put it that way. We're based it from the genesis of where the entire incident occurred. Thank you.
Thank you, Moba. Cindy, you want to come in on this one just before we move on to the other aspect of this conversation?
Yeah, well, Nelson, thank you for having me. I follow the case. I see that the case, the preliminary hearing has ended. And I wanted to speak to that too, because now there are two things that happen with this case, like, most cases at the preliminary hearing. Now, in this case, the government was trying to establish clearly that there were, evidence in the case that was for the case to be sent to the to trial. And the defense, on the other hand, when you see that the defense, Josh, and I wanted to come to that because you made a very good point. You said if I was involved, I will want to go to trial. I would not want them to dismiss the case at a preliminary hearing. You said, and that's a good point. But Josh, usually these cases are very expensive, right? You have to hire lawyers. It's time consuming. So usually the defense, Nelson, will want to trash the case because they don't want to waste time. If they believe that there are no evidence in the case, and they believe, very well that the case, will waste their time and they will spend money on it, what they try to do usually is that in the preliminary hearings, they try to, trash the case. That's what.
So Sandy, you are you saying that the reason why the defendants have been calling for this case to be thrown out is because, or it could be because, of the costs associated?
Well, if they realize, well, they are arguing that there is no merits in this case. That's their argument. There is no merits. There's no evidence. The government is trying to waste our time. The government is trying to have us bear unnecessary financial, burdens. So let's trash the case. Now, if I was also involved, and I know that what they're accusing me of is, false, and that they have no evidence to prove that I've done anything wrong, I would not want to spend any extra money. So yes, my first, line will be to have the judge trash the case at a preliminary hearing. Now, obviously that did not happen, right? That did not happen, and that should also now concern the defense team. I am not saying that they are guilty at this point, but it should now concern them because your first motion has been dismissed. The judge at the preliminary hearing is saying, look, you are saying there is no evidence, the case should be trashed, it don't warrant, be sent to trial, but based on what has been presented to me, I believe the case was, trial. There are evidence, in my opinion, as a judge, that we should, further hear this case. It should be a concern. So if the government is saying, okay, what we have presented is just the sugar on the tea, we haven't even shown you the entire teacup, then you should be concerned. Right? If they go to trial.
Why do you think they should be concerned? I mean, because the folks have all said that the accusation is false. The investigation, the investigative report and everything coming from the police is far from the reality.
Right.
So why do you think they should be afraid? Why should they be jittered at this point?
Nelson, if everything, and I'm not saying everything is true. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that any of the evidence provided during the preliminary hearing are true. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying for the judge to agree with the government, with the, to say that what they have presented to the court warrant a trial. And if the government is saying that, look, what we have presented is nothing compared to what we still have, then there should be some level of concern. Again, I'm not saying a guilty verdict is going to be passed, but I'm saying there is more likely that the government have evidence that most of us that have been arguing against this whole thing do not know us. I still want to, know what the government has. I still want the process to continue. I want a clear evidence to be provided to, or evidences to be provided to the Liberian people. before any guilty or not guilty verdict is passed. At the end of the day, Nelson, no matter who is involved, no matter who the judge is or the judges are, no matter which party is involved, we do want to know who planned, who sponsored, who coordinated, and who burned the Liberia Capitol building. We want to know. So the case has now been moved to trial. The former speaker from Natikova said they were going to, I don't know I forgot which term he used, but they were going to declassify or maybe, dismiss or try to deconstruct. Thank you. They were going to deconstruct the lies at the preliminary hearing. If you heard him, he said in the next couple of weeks, we will deconstruct the evidence or whatever evidence the government have during the preliminary hearing. Well, the preliminary hearing did not even last a week. The government has warned that. Now they are going to trial. Funatikova and his team did not deconstruct.
Yeah, so sorry, let me interrupt you a bit. Something is happening here.
Yeah.
And you're right on that. When the former speaker said, in the matter of weeks, we will deconstruct the lies from the IG. Now, fast forward, the very former speaker, in less than a week, is calling on the judge to dismiss the case. So where are we at this point? Now, in the coming weeks, we will deconstruct the lies. But in less than a week, you want the case to be dismissed because you think it doesn't make sense. Emmy, welcome to the show.
I mean, both things can still play, Nelson. Mm-hmm. You can still ask for the case to be dismissed. Again, I agree with Josh. If I was Funati and his team, I will probably not be asking for dismissal, right? Because I want the evidence to be provided. I will actually push the government to provide the Liberian people with the evidence, right? But like I said earlier, these cases can be financially costly and they can be time consuming. So if maybe in their wisdom, they believe that, look, there is nothing in this case for us to be, wasting time on. So dismiss the case, let's move on. But we have seen the initial request for that has been trashed. The judge at the preliminary hearing said, look, we are not going to dismiss the case. We're going to send you to trial. What the government has provided to us, we believe, is worth looking into, and we will send this case to trial. Now we await the trial. We will see what the government have to present to the Liberian people. And again, if anyone is found guilty, whether President Waka, President William, Funati Kofa, or anyone involved, my own friend and brother Jacobs B, who is in this as well, if they are found guilty with clear evidence, well, then they should face the law. But the government must ensure that the Liberian people see clear evidence, not just trash that they will be taking from social media, or not just anything they say, I say, or it must be clear to the teeth that these people are actually involved in the planning, in the execution, the financing of the Liberia Capitol building being burned. Anything short of that, Nelson, the Liberian people will rise up. I continue to say.
Is this a lawmaker? Is this a lawmaker right here, Cindy?
This is the Honorable Jacob Chaichibadbi.
Was it so hot, when he was doing this for the
But man, money was soon change that man face. Don't worry. I will ugly that too until I start making money.
No, Cindy, don't squeeze out my mouth why I didn't say,
So I know exactly what you wanted to say.
So anyway,
I will even ugly it down. Was dark it down until morning came. Don't worry.
He said he's not photogenic. He didn't say he was ugly.
That's the point. But Emmy, welcome to the show. We're gonna have you to come in on this one, but we follow closely. I mean, all of us here we all followed closely when the Capitol building situation happened. In less time, there was this audio circulating and all of that. You could hear the audios believed to be
Mama, I think you need a mute.
Audios believed to be the voices of the former speaker, And I mean, just all of the folks in here in the conversation. Well, in the court, the former speaker said what he heard, he thinks that voice sounds like his voice. You know, in that audio, it sounds like his voice, but he can't say maybe that his voice, maybe that not his voice, because AI could play in. But he says, yes, that voice sounds like his voice. But then in Representative Yeke Koluba press conference, this is what he had to say.
Before I forget, you know, there's a recording going around where there was a voice that was saying, "Oh, mommy, I'm calling your phone, you're not picking up." I remember during the saga, when the majority of people were bringing people, we were putting people together to in our defense. And this recalling, like I said today from the court, the recalling was given to the police by General Gara and Oforidia. This recalling was given to the police by General Gara and Oforidia. I remember when the call was made, because we used to talk. I used to go to Rumble DB place, so Matadi, when you go around where you got a hand pump, the eyes report will tell you, yes, I used to be there. I used to go to Abu place. When the public where people were facing his place, they used to see me, I park my car, I go to Abu place, upstairs so him we talk. We were strategizing. We were trying to plan on how we can stop the people from behaving the way they are behaving and protect ourselves. So I remember that night, I made a call from Abu Kamara. After I saw Ombo DB call coming. When Ombo DB call, at that time, I was awake. And pick up the call. He asked me what he asked.
You know, it's a whole long audio there, and I believe a lot of you, and I believe a lot of you follow that press conference closely. This is representing Yeke Koluba. And I don't know, maybe we have to go back to that audio. I don't know if I have that audio in my system here. I'm going to try to find it. But a lot of you listen to the audio. It was everywhere across the social media. Is this a confirmation?
Y'all want putting evidence too?
No. I mean, this is all out there.
I mean, you coming
all
to
these
me?
things are out there. Yes. We're going to start with Emmy, go to mobile, and then I'll go around. I mean, is this a confirmation here? What's happening here? Now, because if we were to go back a little, if we were to just go back a little, vividly, you will hear or see people say that the debate at the time was that the audio was AI audio. That the audio was not real. And all of these things that are coming out now, they were still far away from this whole audio. Now, why didn't Representative Yeke Koluba speak to this issue as he's speaking now? Now, he is telling the public, he's telling everybody who gave the audio and what happened. What was the at the time. But Amy, you want to come in on this one, and then we'll go around the table on this. What do you guys make of the response from Representative Yeke Koluba?
Hey, everyone. In the comment section, Nelson, I need to send you something so you can put it on our flyer for our new platform. Let me say it first before I forget. The Nightly Exchange, guys, we're not on here Monday to Thursday, right? Yeah, we're only on here Friday and Saturday. So we have a new platform that we operate from Monday to Thursday, and it's called the Nightly Exchange, and you can find it on Liberia Watch News. And Nelson will put a flyer up for me. I send it to him. So just so you know, at the end, we'll talk about it. So all of you that been wondering where we've been at, you can find us there. So Nelson, I think Yeke is gonna jump in the gun. He knows what's coming. Yeke knows, because the whole AI thing that they're running around with, we all know, AI is real, AI is that, but AI would not give you an authentic Liberian English like that on that recording with background noises and everything. I think it was for the AI to go and generate the Abraham Beyond show and all of that and put it in there. It's impossible. We will get AI. AI will play out, but authentic Liberian English like that and somebody's voice being something, no, it will not give you that. And I'm pretty sure Yega knows some names are going to be named. So let me just call to the chairs right now and tell, what's going to happen and get myself out of this. And people talking about you cannot use it. Why not? This is a plan that was being a crime that was being planned, and they're recalling leaks. Why can't you use it? Why can't you? That happened everywhere. It's not like the police were interviewing somebody and they record them without telling them you are being recorded. That's not what happened. If you're planning something wrong, a crime, and the tape leaked out, the investigator, the police can use that in court. So I don't know where they're coming from. Oh, it's a social media. First of all, now we're talking about social media, something we get it somewhere. But what I see is Nancy is Yekes confirming, and even the former speaker confirmed the tape on Spoon. He did. He said something. Oh, when you calling, somehow we can just be calling each other. And what did he say the other day? He never said that wasn't my voice. That wasn't a tape that was recorded, or that something that was not recorded, or their voice that sound like AI. All of a sudden, he fighting the AI narrative now. But he confirmed it as well on Spoon when he came there the second time, when he got booted out of office. So I don't know why people on here making it seem like it's something so. This is a concrete evidence that can be used in court. So I mean, all of the legal minds that are saying it can, I wait to see. And to see what happened, but I think Yekes is telling he's confessing.
But Emmy, with everything you heard Yekes say on that clip, why do you think Yekes kept quiet all along? Why do you think in the midst of, even in the heat of the debate, when a lot of people say, "Oh, that's true, that's not true," the audio that lie, the audio that lie, why do you think the lawmaker representing Yekes Koluba was quiet? He was MIA.
Yekes never denied it. If you can remember on Spoon when Mame played that stuff, Yekes said something. He was trying to be like, he always tried to play this game like, let me speak this way. Everybody know this is how I speak, and they would take it, without agreeing or so. Yeah. So if my voice on that thing, I would say that my voice. So what? Nothing would kind of, he went in his Yekes way. That kind of intimidating way of talking. So people, Yekes not talking again. Don't take him seriously. Yekes know what he can be doing. He can be playing people. He never denied that day. He was trying to be, be sarcastic about it. He never denies it. So he not talking about it. Maybe his friends. I'm pretty sure that's why Yekes was not in the whole plan all along, because these people know him. Yekes is he was not keep it all the way when the fire coming closer to him. You will start running before and bust out and start telling the secret before everybody. I'm pretty sure that's why they never brought him so close to whatever they did. But he has an idea. Yekes has an idea of what happened. He may not have been in it, but I'm pretty sure he heard something. He has an idea of it.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead, and then we will take.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, the recording is clear, Nelson. It's not. I thank God. You can make it clear to everybody. And I hear people talking about extra evidence, and you know that even text message can be accepted in court. Anyway, text from normal from WhatsApp, the court can grant it as some of the evidence. So according to what I heard from the government lawyer, he said it. He said they got all the tests, and the first trial, it was not there to indict the full lawmaker that, oh, you guys, you're wrong, or they know. It was just there to establish. And now what happened? You didn't carry all your evidence to the court, the first court, the preliminary hearing. You didn't carry all your facts. You leave it.
But Moba, why do you think Yekes didn't come out to say these things that he's saying now?
Nelson, because where he reached, look, you see, Yekes is somebody who can keep secret, And second, look, Nelson, if you listen to that same audio, he said, I told the people to not bring certain people in a mission yet. I told the people working with NSA. Why were you, when you planning something negative, why would you even be pointing people out? Pointing a finger at people that they're working with NSA. I told y'all, they started sending people, and I told them that they didn't want that recording. So next thing, they think it's not something that will just come here and just sugarcoat and say, okay, you know what? There is no evidence that my brother, and my brother stand here. No, I understand, but he tried to make it like to say, even the first recording is not even granted. It don't even get wet. Because the way he said that only this one, we agree, but I want a loom. We already established the case that there was something was going on. And about the text message and all the things that came in nursing, it is clear. And Yeke, let me say, in the coming days, Yeke will say a lot of things. I know Yeke very well. Yeke can keep secret. Anything getting Yeke here, that will come up. And all the things that people playing in the back, that why Yeke bring. And all that kind of that's soon. More will come because all the things that they play, they say, oh, how you call the person, how the NSA people when you are telling you are telling the lawmaker that oh, the people you are working with, the men are working along with NSA. You stay with the people. You gotta be smart. He said all the one on press conference. So to tell you that the identical case nursing, it was already planned. It was not needed for them to carry on. That's all. And they were looking for people, and all the people they caught. There's no coincidence. Those people is fully responsible, and the lawmaker, they found out the identical or something that happened. You can go, you can unless you know Yeke. I want to believe that first. Let me conclude on this first. I'm in a little bit doubt that some of these things, but when I listened to Yeke, the thing that Yeke was saying, it was in line with what happened.
Oh, so Mama, you're telling us that you have been one person who have consistently disagreed with Yeke on this show.
No,
so now it's going your way. You're seeing Yeke as a credible man. Mama, are you sincere? Are you being sincere to us here tonight, Mama? I mean, is it the political Mama with that laughter? Mama, maybe you need to tell us. Probably you operating based on the condition of your laptop.
Listen. When people
when did you start seeing Yeke as being credible?
No, listen. Yeke will be Yeke. Yeke will say something is wrong, something is right. But when you look at the case nursing and the type of people name recording, how they make that, how he said that so people need first of all, how the recording came out. That's the first thing to establish. The recording came out, somebody was among and recorded it. And those people that recorded it, he said it. He alluded to that. Those people that you're working with, they all work with NSA. So that thing you're doing, you gotta be careful. And according to Yeke, he and some of the lawmakers even went to misunderstanding intensity. My man, we're working with that man, Mahena Isa. He said it. So next thing, all these things happen. You want to tell me the lawmakers themselves not just sit down and record themselves. Somebody recording, how they record themselves, Yeke know. And he alluded to that during his press conference. So all the things have been established. It's not something that we're just guessing. It's established. And
thank you.
That's look, the case. One of the person who maybe were thinking that you're making it easier for the government.
Let's hold you there, Mobile, and bring Josh in, and then we're gonna.
Thank you, Nelson. Nelson, look, if Yeke's press conference is something to go by, if I were the judge, I would throw this case outside. And here's why. The reason I would throw the case outside is because the government lied when they said they got the information from the open source. The thing is that Yeke is telling us that these are the two guys who were with them when that phones calls were made. And I think I said it on the same platform the other day. I say it is impossible to go to WhatsApp and get voice recording because people make calls on WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is encrypted. I don't know what people understand when they say encrypted. You cannot hack into it. You cannot get anything from it. When you go there, when somebody say hello in WhatsApp, if you want to hack into WhatsApp, you go there, you see 01534 hashtag. That's how you communicate because it's encrypted. You cannot read it unless you have the person's phone and the person open a WhatsApp before you can read what is there. But if you say you want to hack into WhatsApp, it's encrypted. You will not read anything. Whole sentence, you will just see different line, when question mark, dollar sign, everything. That's what you see. You will not see. That's what I said on this platform. I said it's impossible to get a voice recording from WhatsApp calls. So this government witness, Mr. Wilson, who is the chief investigator, lied on the stand. by saying he got it from the open source because it was given to him. That recording was given to him by somebody. That's what Yeka is saying. So when we have to listen to Yeka, what Yeka is saying, that means the guys were lying. They are lying on an oath that they got the
Open
information.
source can be anybody.
Can you please give me a chance, please? When you're talking, I kept quiet. Just let me talk, yeah, please. I know you're gonna want to keep getting me off balance, but I will say it. This is the same platform we're on. When Musu Scott case came up, people were here. They were doubting all the evidence that came. Many of you here, you were doubting all the evidence. You said they didn't get evidence, didn't get nothing. It's switched because you don't like the people that are there that are being taken to court. So now you believe all the evidence. Even you find your own evidence to bring it there to put it there. You're going to Yeka Koroba, you say he's stupid and crazy. Now, because he doesn't support you, now you're going for evidence because you want to make sure that people are guilty because you don't like them. But Musu Scott, you like her. So you say, we saw her in the point, say, what the evidence? You still want to look for the evidence. We are destroying Liberia by these biases, Nelson. It is ridiculous how people can come on here and make a lot of outlandish allegations and say things that don't even add up when it comes to evidence. The only way, how they go and say, Yeka Koroba is going to be used as a witness when he called by the government. Government called and say, "Can make your statement." He made a statement say that they were asking. Guess what they would do? They were asking, "Can you say that on the stand?" When Yeka Koroba said no, he will not go there to say you can't use any evidence. The thing is law. They're not marketing. They're not to say a man to market. You go there the way we put May 1st. No, this quoting is orderly. You cannot do certain thing in a code of law. You cannot say, "Oh, because I heard somebody say anything on the radio, I carry the code." No, it doesn't make sense. They will throw it outside. So Nelson, let me just conclude. The thing is that this case has gone to court. And for me, I would just cease making a lot of comments on it because I just feel that it's going to be a waste of my time, a waste of our time. And even those who are listening, because we prejudice the case because the people that are going to decide the case are Liberians, just like you and myself. They're sitting down home tonight. Maybe they're listening to us. And when they go to court, they will already have a preset mind. And we don't want to do that because this case is going to court.
Thank you.
They were not needed, but now that it's going to court, they are needed. So I think we should just stop prejudicing the case because our opinion will impact them unconsciously. Thank you.
Meanwhile, you've taken over 3 minutes
Nelson,
to make a point on this very case. But when it's Cindy's time, you said no. Amy shouldn't talk because you're trying to prejudice the case. But Cindy, you can go ahead.
I'm not saying don't talk. You don't talk. I said I would not talk.
30 seconds, please.
That's what I said.
Okay, yeah, please. Okay, let's have Cindy to go. Let's have Cindy to
finish.
Let me have 30 seconds, please. Did I ask you, George? You were talking here. You told me to shut up.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to.
So let's have Cindy to go, Amy. Then you'll come in with 30 seconds. Yeah.
Look, I listened to that Yeka Koroba press conference last night. First thing, when he mentioned those two names, I was a bit disturbed in the way that he mentioned, and not just because of their names, but in the way that the names were mentioned. That the two individuals, Big Brother Semu Garang and Big Brother Ofori Dia, that they had come, volunteered their service to protect the majority bloc because, quote unquote, the minority bloc was planning attack. It just refreshed my memories of the Civil War, that our country is still unstable, that people that were heavily involved with the civil crisis are still around, providing quote unquote security to lawmakers. I know those two big brothers very well. I'm a Crown man. They are my Crown brothers. I know their participations in the past. I hailed them for some of the things they did to protect us. So I'm not here to discuss their past. But what I'm here to say, if someone like Big Brothers Semu Garang and Ofori Dia are providing quote unquote security because another group is planning to attack another group, it tells us that our country is not safe. And that worries me. It really do worry me. for people to still be having that mindset to even planning to attack another group. And then that's what brought us to this level. Whether Semu Garan and Ofori-Dia were the one provided that provided the government the recording from Yeke or not, or whether someone else did provide, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how the government received the recording. What matters is the detail in the recording. The content is the content of the recording. Does it have any bearings on the case? And that's what the judge and the jurors will be looking into. What was said in that recording, does it have anything? In the first place, Yeke have established that it's not an AI. So it's not an AI. Humans sat down, Yeke, Jacob B, and the rest had a conversation on the phone, and apparently Ofori-Dia and Semu Garan turned it over to the government. So now that it has been established that it's not AI, the second thing is, okay, what in the recording? The contents of that recording, Josh, that's what they will be looking at. If the content have anything to do with planning, coordination, financing, the destructions of the Capitol building, then yes, that's a very important evidence that the government could use. But man, I will hope that people that be better like Semu Garan, who played a major role in the Model Fashion, from the battalion commander of the Model Fashion, Big Brother, Ofori-Dia, a major forerunner of the Law Rebel. I hope that they can just chill back now and just relax. Enjoy your retirement. You're working for NSA. They were employed by George Weah. I didn't even know that Semu Garan is working for NSA. I knew that Ofori-Dia has been working for NSA. You're working for NSA, just stay in that role. Forget about coming to groups, providing securities, transmitting their conversations to any party. Just chill. You have played your part in this Liberia. Whether through the Model or La Rebel or whatever other part you have played, just chill. For your names to be out there again in this form, for me, is scary. I hope they can get this message. Ofori-Dia was jailed by Helen Johnson Sirleaf for many years. And we were running around here, crying, people crying around here, you need to free the Helen, jail them, because she coming after the Crown people. You have been free. George Weah came to power and free you. Just chill. Just chill. That's my message to Ofori and Garan.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Emmy, you still want to take your 30 seconds?
Of course, I do. So, first, let me start with my brother Cindy. I want to disagree a little bit with him with the whole it depends what Yeke said these people were doing, right, Cindy? I don't think we should look at that past and just keep trying to put it in our box. Were they planning to do something like they did during the Civil War? Or was it a security protection? You can say, oh, they were coming to protect us. The police can protect a group. Is that what they were doing? Or they were doing it to start a civil war? Or they were doing, if it's something like that, I don't see anything wrong with it because they were in a civil war. So they can't be working with a like security protection or something like that. It depends the kind of protection that he's talking about. So I think we want to know that first before we start to make this sound like they were trying to start some kind of war thing or whatever. I think that is very important. It's not just them, but anybody who has been involved in the Civil War to be putting them in that box to live that. If they are into security, okay, I think it's fine to protect a group. So the police does that all the time. They arm it and everything. It depends the kind of protection you are talking about. If you're trying to something to destabilize somewhere or a county or something, then that's a problem. I think that's what I would think. And with the whole thing that George can be on here comparing Gloria Mususcar case with this case is very disturbing. And I hate all the time that when they come here, when they don't have any more argument to put forward, when they bring that narrative, when you blow holes in it, then they start to go on a rampage and start putting things that don't even add up or that doesn't even align with the situation on hand. Just because somebody never had evidence on another case, and everybody was saying, "Oh, there's no evidence," and for sure, nothing was provided. So that means when it comes to a case that there's an evidence, then you say, "Oh, because they like the other person, they like the other person." What is that? When you're always saying that the law is the law, let the law do that, let the law do that. Is that what we see here? You're not letting the law where you're trying to make it out with your feelings and they're talking about because somebody don't like somebody. Is that what's going on here? They put out evidence and stuff. Where did you have video recording or something that Gloria Mususka was planning her daughter murder and everything with people? Then with the 4 people they had in jail, the old man that couldn't even hold their own lapa into a war that became a murderer. Where did you have a video or a recording that they were on the recording and someone came in and
Nelson,
said,
that
there
is after the 3
recording and
seconds or the 3 to
and
do?
something.
Is that
There was
still okay?
nothing like that. So I don't know why he would come in and try to compare the two and say, "Oh, we saying that one is evidence because there's no, because we don't like the other people and because we like the other people." I don't get it. What's up with that party and liking political leaders but there's so much that something that is important like this? What you supposed to be calling for? Like my brother Cindy says, transparency. You come here making it about liking somebody and not liking somebody. Who cares about who likes who?
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's like you stole additional.
Well, you let me steal it. You wasn't I was stealing it.
This is where we are with this, and I think we have to transition now, where there's been a lot happening across the country, and one of such has to do with the back and forth with the former First Lady. The pronouncement made by the family when she passed away, and following that, the former president went and made some contributions there, and 2 cows, right? 2 cows, 5,000 USD,
2 famous cow,
and 50 bags of rice. This thing blew the whole country wild. For the first time, cows have been in the news for about a week. And I think they're the most famous cow in post-war Liberia.
Well, yeah.
In the heat of everything, the president's offer was rejected. It got reaccepted. And then it got rejected. And it got reaccepted. You know, the back and forth, the former president he said he sees the family as his people, and and so forth, but his offers were rejected. Fast forward, the daughter of the former president takes onto the social media to express her dissatisfaction over the way the former president addressed the issue, and in fact, she was disappointed, and she thought that her mother should have gotten her benefit while she was alive. That would have helped. That would have been far better than giving them 5,000 when the former First Lady is no longer alive. In the midst of everything we're talking about, she launches an attack at the Senator Zoe Emmanuel Pena. Well, that's family issue. That's the other side of it, But what do you think? In the heat of everything, this famous photo surfaced today, where Ms. Veronica Mamindo is in the photo, or she in the picture with the president of the Republic of Liberia. Now remember, in the case of former President George Weah, she could not take a photo with him. She was upset. She was bitter. She was feeling terrible. I mean, she was mad at everything that happened. Though the former president went at the resident, he made a donation. He, in cash and in kind and everything, but no, she was still so much dissatisfied, and she expressed her frustration. She rejected his offers, took it to the headquarters of the party, and said she doesn't want it. In the case of President Joseph Yuma Boakai, Then we saw that they both were in a photo that has been circulating across social media. And she's wearing on a huge smile. And the president himself is smiling. Now, you know, what's happening here? I mean, let's start the conversation with Josh.
Thank you, Nelson. Nelson, and that's why our country is in problem or in trouble. And I say that not to wish trouble on our country, but it's just a reality. Nelson, President Bouaka came to power last year. And at the time, the former first lady was still alive. President Bouaka did not order that she be paid the money she has been chasing. President Bouaka was there as a president. He knew about everything that was obtaining. He did nothing about it. And under his regime, the woman got sick. Under his regime, the woman died.
No, I want to understand something, Josh. So you're looking at this now, not just from the angle of former President George Weah, but from the angle of the current president as well.
Yeah.
Are you coming from the point where the benefits and everything that should have come in on the former President George Weah could come on the President Bouaka? Is that where you're coming in from?
That's where I'm coming from. And just let me learn, you will understand what I'm getting at. Mami Do is angry because she said President Weah did not give her mother the money she was chasing for her husband and for her own benefit, even though her own benefit was being paid to her. But because President Weah did not give her that money that she went to ECWA school and she won, that's why Mami Do is angry. But Mami Do is happy with Bouaka, who under his regime, this woman was sick and nothing was done for her as a state-owned contribution for her to even go to hospital or do anything. And the woman ultimately dies. She's happy to shake his hand and be happy, even though the man who is in power as president now, who has made Liberia, who has rescued Liberia, hasn't paid the mothers any penny. But she's happy to get on a photo with him and shake his hand and give her I don't know, 5 cows and something else and give her these things. But she's angry because President Weah, who is not in power anymore, did not give the man the money.
But which of the two bears the largest responsibility here? The man who was in power for 6 years and could have given the money, while the woman was still a bit younger to benefit from her money, versus the man who came to power in 1 year, 6 months, less than 1 year, 6 months, or let's say 1 year, 6 months now, but he didn't do anything about the benefits.
Did any of them give the money? Did any of them give the money? For me, I just looking at it
Could any of them have done better?
Could have given it yet. Any of them could have done it. President Weah did not do it. President Bouaka did not do it at all. And he was president even when she was sick. President Weah was not president when she was sick. Even when she was sick, he did not do it. He did not give any arms. He did not do anything. And she dies. She's happy to get in a photo with him. But the man who came brought gifts as first, bearing gift. The first thing he did was to take 5,000 there. Let's forget about, he did not give the money to her. The money she won, according to them, maybe in the millions. If Liberia have that millions of dollars, you know what I mean, to give to former presidents, I mean, it's a good thing. I think they should have given her the millions. But President Weah did not give her the millions, right? Even though he paid her due stipend that the government is owe her, pay her.
No, Josh. 2 things here. She was receiving, or she received what was for the former president, her husband, but she didn't get what was.
That's not true. That's not true. A president that dies does not get any benefit. We're in our constitution. Some of these things we are not journalists, but we read extensively. Someone who dies does not get any benefit.
And I understand that part.
Someone who dies. Let me tell you, but let me explain now. Someone who dies
go ahead.
get any benefit. Someone who dies does not get any benefit. Even in this country, you can be receiving pension. When you die, pension is over. They don't extend it to another party. So they were not giving, nobody should lie to you that she was getting the president pension.
So
No,
which part of the
does
constitution
not get
is
any
the whole
pension.
thing? Because maybe that thing like the laptop now, George, let's say mobile laptop will come into it to know the part.
No. Don't enter that tag of
You know,
generator.
because
The thing is,
I mean,
yeah, but let me tell you,
this has
first
been
lady
the
is, let me tell you, the government has a regulation where they pay first ladies, right, while they are alive, and presidents while they are alive, right? When you die, they don't pay you a penny because who the money going to? They aren't going to pay your children. The children are not officials of government. They don't pay them. Even as president said, your children, they can get passports, service passport, but after you, the passports are gone. And even when they're over 21, they don't give them official passport, right? They don't do that. So no benefit extends to anybody who is alive when you're not alive. So nobody to lie to you and say she was getting President Doe money. No, President Doe was not being paid since he died. He will not be paid. If there's a lump sum for him because the country wants to do something for him, they are giving him a lump sum, but they will not pay him periodically. No. So it doesn't happen like that. Let me go to the issue. President Boakai did not pay this woman any money. He did not do anything for them. The woman dies, honor his wife. And this lady is happy to go in a photo with him.
Yeah, so John, just to conclude.
Just to conclude, I think this thing has become political. And Mommy is not doing her mother any service by making it political. Because now the news filtering in says that President Boakai has given her 5 cows. And you know what the family is saying? Most of the people are saying she alone should eat the 5 cows. They don't want to do anything with it. I don't think that is a good thing for her mother's legacy. I think she's doing more disservice to her mother than even the president where she's blaming for not paying her the millions that she won from the ECOWAS code. How many people have been paid for winning case in ECOWAS code? We don't even have the money to even sustain our schools when children are still sitting down on the ground in mud houses. Then we're going to give somebody $3.6 million to go and sit down in England to be enjoying themselves. And why the children? No, people can say whatever they want to say. And they say the money there for her. Let President Boakai give it to the children now so they can go and have a good life. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Cindy, your take on this whole thing here. I mean,
Nelson, thank you. This is gonna be my last discussion. Then I will head to bed. I have a flight in less than 4 hours.
okay.
Look on this topic, Nelson. And I will hope that my brother George will not interrupt. He will hear me out too, since we heard him out. This is the rejection of the President Weah's gifts is beyond the the issue of money owes to the First Lady. It's beyond that. This goes far back to issues between Weah and Mami, Weah and the family. There was a time when Weah has said publicly that he had a relationship with Mami. Let me go back to history.
Go back into history.
George can't stand this beat. He disappeared. He can't stand this beat. He disappeared.
Because look, guys, for your benefit, Sandy is from the county. So when Sandy
I'm not from the county, I have a very direct relationship with Mamindo.
Okay.
I know her very well. George Weah had publicly said in the past that he has something to do with Mamindo. When Mamindo was actually in a relationship, serious one, that almost caused her relationship. The family had to come out to debunk that. That caused a fraction between them and George Weah to start with. Okay? So you can tell the bad blood has been there between Weah and Mami for a very long time. Now, the second bad blood creation came about during the 2017 election when Junior Doe publicly campaigned for now President Joseph Numa Boakai, then Kennedy Boakai. Junior Doe, Mami's younger brother, publicly campaigned for Boakai. Boakai lost the election that year, President Weah became president.
Mm.
Now let's go back again. Let me take you a little back. Let's go as far as Charles Taylor.
Sure, you can read out that Francis
When Charles Taylor became president, Nelson, you know the blood between Taylor and Samuel Doe. But when Taylor became president in 1997, where were Nelson Doe? She was in the Côte d'Ivoire. It was Charles Taylor who sent people to the Côte d'Ivoire to bring Nelson Doe to Liberia. According to herself, she was even afraid to come. But Charles Taylor guaranteed her security. When she went to Liberia, throughout from 1997 until Taylor left 2003, Nelson Doe was treated like a queen in Liberia by Charles Taylor. Provided her security, paid her monthly, gave her 2 brand new vehicles. Nelson Doe was in Liberia throughout Taylor's time, being treated as a former first lady. That's one thing we should remember. When Helen came to power, well, that treatment stopped. The woman stopped getting her benefits, everything. But you can understand, it is the same Helen who was, quote unquote, imprisoned by Samuel Doe and had a bad blood with Samuel Doe. So you can understand that the family were not expecting much. So they didn't really, even though they were expecting their benefit, but they didn't push it, they let it go. Luckily, someone who claimed to be Doe's son, who had some direct relationship with Samuel Doe, came to power. The woman got elevated. I mean, she got very highly spirited. She turned out that Weah would treat her with the same honor and respect that Taylor treated her with, or at least would turn to her and give her some of the husband benefits. And Weah knew the husband and they had some level of relationship. Weah, because of the past, what happened between him and Mamie Doe, and because the father Junior Doe campaigned for Boakai, Weah turned his back on the family completely. I want people to understand the genesis. He turned his back on the family completely. The woman went to court. Before she went to court, she went to the executive mansion, tried to get Weah attention days in, days out, months in, months out. To the extent that one day Weah granted her a physical meeting. She went to his house. Weah stood the woman up for more than 6 hours. She was waiting for Weah. When President Weah came, he spent less than 5 minutes in her presence. According to Mamie Doe herself, when woman was trying to explain her problem, Weah looked in the face of the woman and said, "Man, move from here, man," and walk out. I'm not saying the same. And walk out. Nancy was crying, leaving that place. We can see why Mamie will be angry today.
Exactly.
It was because of things like that that the woman decided to go to the Supreme Court of Liberia. Supreme Court said, Liberia, you owe the woman $5.6 million plus 6% interest. That's the Liberian Supreme Court.
That was not under the CDC government.
Okay, it was during Helen government, sorry. $5.6 million plus 6% interest. Under the CDC government and the woman, because she was not getting the money, she decided she would go to ECOWAS. ECOWAS said, in fact, Liberia, you owe the woman
Point of correction again. It was
interrupting your brother.
No, let's have.
It was that she went to ECOWAS, but not under the CDC government.
You want to go in the backstage and come back and get the heat too much?
I know, we listen to you.
But I just don't want you to go with the wrong information because I think the stories you are
on a chartered government, she went to
business.
Okay, that Judy Brian time.
Okay. John, you go and have 30 seconds, actually.
All about us said it. So what we do, ECOWAS said like bro over 18 million. Nelson, John said there is no 18 million in the government, we agree. The human hope was so high that even you would have thought that George Weah would have given a woman maybe at least even 1% of that money, 2% of that money, 3% of that money while she was living. The reason when George then go back and say, oh, doing Bouaka ahead in time, 12 years, they don't give all the money. The family were not as hopeful on Helen because of the bad blood as they were hopeful on we are. Me and Amy, we are very good friends. We have some relationship. The hope I will have for my children to benefit from Amy may be different from other people. And when Amy dashed that hope, then I died. And now Amy want to show up. Not even willing it. Amy did not even want to show up willing it. John Weah wasn't going to go there until Asa Inambo had to drag him there, pretty much.
He said so.
He said it. I didn't say it. He said he was traveling, and then Asa Inambo said, my man, you need to come here. That's how he went there. He said that doing the math, giving all the bad blood, and then that kind of comment you made. Oh, I will not come here, but as a number I'm going to come here. The thing that between all, we should not allow the people then to spoil it. You know, Josh, let us look at all of this. I too will not take a penny from such individual. And Josh, I know you talk about tradition. Mami Do is not respectful. She's not listening. If that were me, I won't even listen to the nearest person in my family. When Mami Do mother was sick, those people were not there. Those uncles and aunties were not there.
Thank you.
When they said they were running around at Morovia after Joe, we are trying to get her benefit, those people were not there.
Exactly.
When they said Doe was struggling, those family were not there. It was the same Mami Doe who were running between London and Liberia to take care of her mother. So she have the final saying. So we can move on as a people. If you give me give, I say I don't want it, move on. Mami could not have rejected the cow in the right there. But when she knew what she was going to do. So when the cow came, she rejected them. We move on. President, we should learn from this. We should learn how to treat people better, things to say. As a president, you may not have the money. You are told and said, man, we don't have the 18 million to give you, but let 500,000 here for your husband, manage this one. Then 1 million here, manage this one. It would have been better than to wait. You even insulted her in your face. Then she died. Now you want to go get cow. Who's eating a cow? That next day eating a cow?
No.
Other people will be jubilating over a cow. And to the last point you made quickly before I end, the 5 cow President Bouaka gave, if the family say they not want to eat it, do you know how many people already lined up in Israel waiting for that funeral to come?
No, I rejected one. Yeah.
You had a rejected one. Do you know how many people lining up from the border, from the Sestor River, all the way to Zreju to Dole compound, waiting for their wake? That 5 cow that President Bouaka gave, they are not enough. The people will eat them in no time. The family want eat. They don't want eat. The people will eat them.
Sandy.
But then when the heat is hard, just go back. I know Australia is hard. I understand.
Sandy, do you think, in all fairness, in all fairness, Sandy, do you think President Weah was treated fairly in this process? Do you think it was fair for Ms. Mami Do to drag President Weah by his past things he did yesterday, if we're talking about reconciliation at this point?
Nelson,
the former president of the Republic of Liberia in that matter.
The older person should be
offer disgrace and everything that comes with that.
Nelson, this is the perfect time. If President Weah wanted reconciliation, he would have asked for reconciliation before Nancy Doe died. He would have. Even when she was sick, why not ask for reconciliation? When you were president, maybe the pressure on you, okay, maybe you would say, okay, ma, if I've done this thing for you, the people will see it other way. After being president, the first few months, why can't you reach out for reconciliation? The woman died. The daughter is Pace Nelson. Maybe if you want reconciliation, let them go through the mourning process. Let them bury their mother. Take your rejected cow. One of them we heard has been given to Edwin Snow. Take the rejected cows. Edwin Snow has already eaten one. The other one carried to the CDC party. It will be eaten there. After they bury their mother, maybe then we can talk about reconciliation.
Thank
But
you.
mommy has all the right to be angry at this point. Let her be.
Thank you. Emmy, you want to come in and then?
Oh, I thought I was me now because Amy already spoke.
You were finna talking for what did you come here again?
Okay, I'll go ahead.
So
George,
I don't know
George
what
will
else
give you
asking you know,
some-
when I
Yes.
asking you to do all the history and something. But anyways, he's sending out so much. Thank you for the history, Professor. We appreciate it because some people want to act like they don't understand what is going on here. It's about refusing Carol. That tradition, you don't refuse Carol. It's more than that. And you know, for us to act like because of politicians and their family or their you know, face what it would be like for to say and act like when this thing happened to some of us, we accept it. Some of us know here. No, it would even be worse. First of all, when he went over there, President Blackwood just went and gave those things. I don't know if he was embarrassed. He didn't know what to say. He was sitting there. He going by his own autobiography. I'm from Ancestor. My grandfather from the other place. But who cares? You're there to sympathize, right? You telling, you got dragged, and then you come in explain your whole history. Then you go and saying that, I treated her very well. I didn't do anything. The lady said you're calling her mother a liar. That's one of the things I really, you could see her facial expression like, did he just say that? It's something that I know you'll come to my face and lie to me like that. What I see my mother go through, and then people want to sit and their family says she will eat a cow. Who cares about those ones? And like we know what the family history is already. Like she already explained, which we don't want to go into, but that is already there. You think she care about them? She care about how her mother was treated, and like Sandy said, she was right there when all of that was happening. She felt the pain with her mom. Now those people, now they want to be, she did it one to her mom, she lied to her mom, she did it one year, she did that one year. They want to come out here and make her look bad and make her, and because she has watched the whole Delapo out here and they want to be lying and want to be doing this, she has every right. She will bury her mother. Their family go there or they don't go there, that business. And she said it. Some of the treatment I was giving to her mother, they had something to do with it. Some of them had something to do with it. They manipulated some of the situation. Like I said, this is not unique to the Dole family. Whatever thing that is going on, it's not unique to it. We want to come in and act like, this woman is this, she's that, she didn't want to be calling her names, want to be calling her that. This is not about President Weah, and we need to stop making it like it's about him. President Weah should look like a shiny star always. He's a reconcilier. He's a peaceful man. He's a something. He got the audacity to be writing memo when President called him. This is what you need to do. You need to go by the rule of law. But guess what? Paying a benefit, a pension, or benefit something to a former first lady or her husband is in the Constitution. That is the law. Did he follow it before he want to be writing law? When somebody call him to tell him about unification, there's something for him to be writing in it. Those are the hypocrisy that I put try to call out, and y'all don't like it. Y'all always want to come and turn it around and make it about something else. President Bouaga did not go over there to go insult or to go make show there. What he did, he went and sympathized with the family. He did it quietly and did it with respect. President Weah did not do that. That's the difference. That's why you see in that picture with her standing in there and they want to try to turn it around and say, she listened to President Bouaga telling her, go do that and go do that. No. It's the way the other person went there with the bad blood already there, and the way he went and presented the gift. It was different from what the president now did. So that's the difference. People don't want to see it. They want to take it to be politics. You people telling her to sit there. That's a grown woman. I don't think she's doing any politicking or whatever, but they can go ahead and run it like the way they want to run it. They will always try to spin it the way they want to spin it. But what I see over there, Nelson, is the presentation was different from one another. That's why she's happy with the other one and she's not happy with the other person.
Josh, you wanted to take a few seconds quickly so we wrap
Yes,
up?
Nelson. Look, what I want to comment on is I listened to the interview with the former First Lady, the late Nancy B. Doe, and for my brother Sandy to come here and bluntly mislead people. That's why I decided I wanted to make a comment. Ms. Doe said plain blank when she went to see President Weah. President Weah said, "Oh, people say I was loving to your daughter. And you not even go and clarify it as my man." Because President Weah was trying to be the president and people were trying to tarnish the reputation that he was loving to Mommy while he was married. So they was trying to make a connection where he was not a good person before to become a president. So they were trying to say they made a loving all around, he loving to Mommy Doe. And Mommy Doe man who called George Weah her son did not clarify, said, "No, George Weah not loving to my son, to my daughter." But here's the thing. My brother come back here and say President Weah made a proclamation that he loving to her. Mommy Doe, that George Weah coming to be brave now. As a married man, he going to air. I love you to Mommy Doe. You know, when it makes sense to anybody, it's just the person who wants to believe what they want to believe. Now George Weah, who every woman's dream will be that they just want to be, so for him to know them. Then he will go now as a married man, he go in the air and say, "I love you to Mommy Doe." That's what Sandy here wants us to believe. As if we got scale on our eyes or we got some wax in our ear that we.
But did you believe that, Josh? Did you believe that? Did you believe it that way?
Which way?
Yeah,
Which
he
way?
did it Yahweh.
Can you just, Amy? Can you just be quiet for a bit?
No,
Please,
no,
let's go ahead with
Pay attention to
you
Nelson.
get angry. When people do it, you get angry. So don't do it to others, please.
Pay attention to Nelson and stop paying attention to me.
Josh, they put
You're
here
distracting me. That's the problem. You know, you yellow machine now, so you can distract
Don't bring
people.
it to me. Just pay attention to
Oh, you can't do yourself. You're a yellow machine that can distract. They have to go ahead.
So the sedition are blue
I did not
machine,
believe
right?
it. I
And
did
then
not
you-
believe about Nelson. We got thousands of people that will watch the show after, or thousands of people who are watching now, right? And when he comes on here and blatantly mislead people, for me, it's disservice. George Weah was angry that the name was being dragged in his man. Who he called a man did not clarify. That's what Joshua was saying. So, oh man, I don't know what happened. People were going around saying, "I love you to your daughter," and I'm running to be the president. Even though your son running against he was campaigning against me, and I come to you to come lay complaint. Your daughter, people say I love him to her, and you not even clarify it. But we are not happy about that. Then Sandy come by here and say, "Joe, we are saying you are loving to the girl," and the girl was married. And look at that. Who believes that? You know, and guess what? He got a straight face, telling blatant lie, and then we will be sitting here and we just say, yeah. It's sad, Nelson. And for us to continue to do this to our country and to mislead our people only because they are unsuspected, it's for me, it's criminal. But it is what it is, Nelson. I don't want to take up most of the time. Maybe we'll have another topic to go ahead with. But people just lie because it suits them. And that's what it is. But I think it's time for reconciliation, Nelson. It's time for reconciliation. We have to reconcile this country. And I tell you, and this is not denigrating to anyone, but in the next 1 month, Mommy Doe will be a thing of the past. Nobody will ever hear about her because she is not a headline. So this is a 15 minutes of fame. Let her have it. And for me, I give it to her. Thank you.
Thank you. Emmy, you want to come in quickly?
Yes, I do.
So I think here after we'll go to the phone lines.
Yeah, we can go to the phone number.
Because it's
Josh
raining
wanna
here,
come
cats
here
and dogs, and
it says Sandy
the
live, but you
network
wanna
and
come
everything
to
is
us.
just tricky.
Josh wanna come out that Sandy is
Yeah,
lying.
the computer, eh?
But
Yeah,
that Sandy
she
is
is
lying,
lying.
but Josh is telling us exactly what George Weah said, that he was there too. He wants us to believe it.
No, the
But
old
he's
man
telling
said it,
us
Mama. The
that-
old man said it.
No,
She
the
herself
old
said it.
man
The old man
also
said it.
that. That's the same girl that also said that.
You see,
Her mom went to Her mom went to him and started to cancel the rumor that he was carrying around, and it became a problem. So, what do we believe? What George is telling us here that George we have said, or what the girl? Just say you don't want to believe it, don't believe it, but don't come here and say Cindy blatant lie, and yours is the blatant truth. What is that?
Because the woman said this voice. She
said a lot of things that you don't want to accept. She said a lot of things.
Everything she said, I accept it. I accept it that the money was not given to her.
You said she was misleading the public.
No, I did not say that. I'm not dead yet. You cannot say something I did not say. I did not dispute anything the old man has ever said. All I said was that the money was not given to her by George Weah. Neither was it given to her by Ellen. Neither was it given to her by Boakai. So who is she angry with most? She angry with George Weah most because she said George Weah is her son. I understand that. And guess what? For me, if I become president, my man can come to me and will give all the country money, and because she's my man, I'll give it to her.
No.
And I will say that
the Constitution demands that George Weah give her the money.
Once she comes to me and say the country owe her, I will give it to her. So we do that. When everybody go there, the person know them most will go there and then they'll give it to them. They will not follow politics. They will not follow any legislation. They just take the money and give it to them. That's it.
Now you're misleading the people, George.
I want to build country. George was trying to tell you that not because I'm related to this family, I'm related to this man, so I will take the country money and give it to them when there's no precedent set for it.
Thank you, George.
So we go there's priorities.
That's not what the Constitution says.
You want to give somebody $18 million?
You shouldn't pay somebody benefit. That's not what the
I think we'll go to the phone lines.
They're not just go there and say,
let's go to the line. Let's go to the line, my brother.
Lie to the people say she wanted to pay for, so they're supposed to get no.
0555 10.
But what you guys saying? You guys say because
0555 1010.
I was saying this said. I was saying this said.
Call and we'll be live. This is the late night show. Late night politics in school. Let's take our first caller here. Hello.
You're not allowed to nobody.
George, I say George, so way behind Granji there. Because you listen to James Senator Diva a few days. John Weah was driving an open tap car. Samuel Doe was driving open tap. John Weah was James Senator Diva. The Doe was driving there. That man went to Cameroon. He ran out of money. That Joe sent $5,000 to him. Those are the things that make him a man there. When they go to that mansion, the woman you listen to Diva, they all cry, right? When they go to a mansion, the men will bring food outside. Diva said the first time you see good money that do then $2,000. Do you know they give $2,000? That's more money. That may go Brazil. That do say all of them there. He go Cameroon, run all of money that do say money there to $5,000. Yes, someone treating you how you feel. Do only kid don't know Boakai. When we went to Vonyama, we went to that may work at FPMC. That was a lodge. Katumu Boakai called Tobago for him. I think he came by the coin and getting that job. But John Weah was too close to those people. Don't make that man. And you said you'll get there.
Thank you.
You talk about the cow. The cow part, they dancing now in Granji there. Those cow there, they dancing like, hey, they didn't care then.
Thank you.
Yeah? Who the families there say you don't want the cow? That's that way in that place. You God not supposed to do good for you, so you judge. You don't.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Now why you poor for?
Hello.
Your voice has sounded like I don't know English.
Good morning.
No, Josh, let's respect our audience, our callers.
But Nelson, you didn't tell him to respect me. I'm expressing my view. Then you telling me that nonsense. You didn't talk anything. I said
if
you don't want to come on the show, not come here. Somebody can be on the show. Somebody can be really tell me that thing.
But Josh,
to bless me. Then you say anything.
We have a time for the callers. We have a time for the callers. You know, let's have
you should acknowledge them. You should acknowledge them.
Yes.
You cannot talk about analysts like that. You should acknowledge them.
Listen, Josh, I know I should have said that.
If you don't want me on the show, tell me I will leave. But you cannot make your father to insult me and tell me nonsense, and then you say I should not say anything back. It will not happen. I was not raised like that. I stand up for myself. So don't tell me that, Nelson, please.
Josh.
Josh, calm down.
So Josh,
this is the calm down. Amy, just hold on, please. I'm talking to Nelson.
But calm down. You just started the show. That's why
I'm not calming down. I'm not calming down, Nelson.
I'm not. Guys,
All right,
let's do this.
Just
Let's do this. My point here is, it's not that the guy was right. And you know on the show that we always caution our callers and even us on set to respect, to reciprocate the respect. All right. So whatever the guy says, slip, out of my hand and whatever. But my point is, let's have the callers segment to move on. Thereafter, we can always come back and make our do our closing and respond to some of what the callers will say. Hello, caller, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello, Nation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning to every one of us and those who are in the diaspora. You see, this whole thing, to my own experience and analysis, mommy and whosoever is there, they are police side or political side, because one reason, the other caller jealous. Diba said the late President Samuel Kanye gave 2000. He said